Hello everyone, welcome and thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate you taking the time to spend with me on this Wednesday afternoon here in Melbourne. My name is Rochelle Smith and I am from Stampin' Flair. I'm here to share with you today a guide card, and you can of course always change it around or whatever I'm sharing with you to create any style or any for any occasion. But today I am giving you some tips on how to create this. I don't have a card already made, but I have some ideas that I want to share with you. And I have been playing around with the Just a Note bundle, so I'm going to be incorporating that to create this card today. I will have my shopping link. I haven't put it on because I was rushing a bit as I was having some issues with my computer. So I wanted to get this on and be reasonably on time. So if you are joining me, please say hello and let me know what you're up to this Wednesday afternoon. I have been getting some projects ready for some blog hops going live, and you will get to see them soon. So if you haven't subscribed to my blog, make sure you do. Then you will get to see all those new stuff. I've also got at the post office right now some of my new products waiting to be collected, so I can't wait to see them. So let me turn my camera around, show you what I have for my color palette. So I am playing along with the Global Design Project color palette, trying to anyway. Let's see how we go, because as I said, I do not have my card prepared, but I kind of thought that Just a Note bundle, if you will see how much I love it and how it's gonna work. We've got Darling Duckling, Pool Party, and Poppy Parade. It's a great little combination. And this month at Stampin' Up, our creative challenge is to create masculine projects. So definitely, if you haven't joined in the challenge, create a card and tag Stamping Up and use the hashtag creative challenge SU and be part of that. If you will enjoy creating, I think it's a great exercise to just do some things maybe a bit different, and if you're not used to it, or even this sort of adding a bit of Poppy Parade into a color palette for me is a little bit different. For a guide card, I guess sometimes it's nice to just mix around and play with different colors that are a little bit different to what you would normally play around. So the Sunrise Sailing bundle is actually, you get a stamp set and you get a hybrid embossing folder. So with a hybrid embossing folder, how that works is it can emboss. I didn't actually get the embossing folder because, not that I didn't get it out of my stash, but let me show you now. I used it before, just that I wasn't sure whether I was going to use it right now. Let me find out. Here it is. So it embosses and cuts at the same time with the coordinating dies. So like you could put the die in there and it'll emboss the piece you are cutting. So it's going to give you nice detail. If you want the clouds and things like that, or you can use it just like embossing folder as is, just to give you some nice background. Several ways. This is a kind of a different one to what we have had in the past. We have had flowers and things. So this is a little bit different to I guess some we have had in the past. But it's nice and I like this. You can use it as just on its own. So that embossing folder, that part of that embossing folder as well. So good little one. The other bundle I'm going to be using is this Just a Note. Guys, if you haven't got this, it's a must-have in my books. If you love stationery, you are going to just fall in love with this set. Hello, Deborah. Great to see you here. I love stationery. I think my dad got us into it like in a mad way, and he was always doing he worked in a firm that was one of their products, and so I think I was born for that kind of thing. So this is a must-have. If you love stationery, there is a lot that can be done. It's a little bitty pack, but it is amazing. It's got lots of little bits that you are going to love. So this is going to give you that torn edge of your notepad or whatever you're creating. It would be great on, I have so far just made cards. It would be great for scrapbook pages. Really nice. It's got your, what, I don't know what you call it in the rest of the world, but it are bulldog clips, right? Your two different styles. I probably do. I've just forgotten the word because I work in an office and what we call it is bulldog clips. And your little ones, right? Little hearts and stars, arrows. So it's great for guys and girls. It's a nice little set. The other stamp set I am likely to be using is this one. Now, if you haven't seen this one, it's a cut apart. It's not called cut apart, but there's a word for it. It's called building blocks. That's what it is. It's in the annual catalog, and you can either put them together and stamp it, or they pull apart, and they are fabulous. So much can be done with it. Those are some of my favorite new products. So let's get to creating. I'm going to start with this piece because I think that's going to be some sort of focal point, and you can work through my process as I do this. I'm just going to adjust. I'm having some issues with my computer charging, so I'm a little bit worried that this will just decide to die on me, and that's why I was late as well hopping on. You know, things happen, but let's hope this lasts. If I craft fast, maybe it won't die on me. Okay. That doesn't look very good. Okay, just bear with me. If not, if everything ever goes wrong, I just have to hop off and hop back on directly through my phone, and we can always work that out. It worries me. This I've had issues, and I'm meant to be getting a new one. I'm using a work one, and sorry guys, I would hate for this stream to just have disappear on you. So even though it was fully charged, it's just having issues. Okay, I will keep going. All right, and if I do end up, if it just disappears after a while, don't worry, we will do something. I'll keep it. You sort of, you know, it's one of those things you got to stand on your leg and breathe in the right way and that kind of stuff. Not quite, but if you do move, it just does weird stuff. All right, so let's bring in my little rough pad, which is a very pretty rough pad, but I sometimes like to use this. So I'm going to stamp in. My lines will be in, I think, the pool party. So that's what first I thought, do I just get the dies? And then I thought, no, because then I can stamp my lines in whatever color I want, which is what I liked. And there's my stamp. Here we are. Okay, so you could extend it as well. So that's what's good about that. All right, so we'll ink it up in Pool Party. I stamp first and then I'll die cut. Now what I'm going to do is do some little detail on it while I have, before I die cut. So what I've got is a stamp. This is the hibiscus, which is on our last chance. Now I don't think it, not I don't think, I know it doesn't matter which stamp you have. I would suggest getting a stamp that is sort of not equally in shape, because I'm using the opposite side of the back of the stamp, right? So it doesn't matter what you have. I need sort of a something that's going to give me like a wash look, and it's the technique that I'm doing that matters. So it doesn't, like a flower with a regular shape probably wouldn't give you that different look, and that's what I wanted in this. So I'm going to ink. This is the back of the stamp, so it's like if I stamp it like that, that's what it is. So I'm going to stamp off, and then I'm taking a wet wipe and I'm diffusing those edges so it's not identifiable what this shape is. And then I'm going to stamp on this corner. Right, it's just going to give me, now if I was using watercolor cardstock, I feel I haven't cleaned that, but it's from my previous use, but that's okay. I can if I was using watercolor cardstock, you don't need to do this sort of thing because you can just spritz and then add it. But because I'm not using watercolor cardstock, I wanted that same kind of effect, and it just gives a nice kind of look, right? You can see that it's giving a background. Now I'm going to be cutting some of that out. I'm going to clean that off, and I might add a little bit of the yellow too. So, and then, no, that's probably right. Did it go? Oh no. Let's do that with that's Darling Dumpling. It's not any yellow. I might do that twice. Just I don't want it too dark. And just, it adds a little bit of like brightness in there. And this one I might do a bit more darker. Again, and you can, this part's going to kind of get, and it's okay there because you're going to get a nice, you can't identify that that's a flower. So next we are going to die cut that. And we'll use, so we'll need that die cut. Alright, so I am just, I don't know whether you can see that. Let me see what you can see. Yeah. Okay, so you can place this wherever, whether you want top more margin or it doesn't matter. I might add a little bit more margin at the top. could. It is so nice, this one. Oh, I feel I might have gone. Thought I might have been off, but that's just made it, I think. There you go. And I'm going to keep that. I might do my sentiment or something on that. The next thing, I'm going to cut another one of that, and let's see what color we want to do that in. So we have got some darling duckling, or we have got, what's the other color? Pool party, maybe. I've got some, darling duckling. I've got that. I think I want some pool party. So I've pulled out some different designer series paper which have the colors, and the one that would work is probably this one. It is from the Floral Impressions. And when I create, I try to see, this is exactly how I do it. Especially if I'm doing colors and I want to get a particular product in colors, I will go onto the online store and I will search, type in the search by the color, and it's going to bring up everything in the color, and try and work out what I want to use, because sometimes I forget what is in that particular color, what we have, and it just helps me work out what I have. I am still trying to get this going, and just bear with me, and I'm hoping for a little miracle. This might be a very quick video, but that's okay. We can do quick cards, right? All right. So I'm just going to give this like as if you have torn it. Just go with that. And give this a bit of a torn look. It just gives it a bit of character. And excuse my, I'm a bit sidetracked. Not sidetracked, just because I take a long time to create, especially. If you have been with me a long time, you know Michelle takes. Are you a fast crafter? Let me know. Do you put things together quickly? I'm a bit slow. But both work. Just what your style is, isn't it? So we've got all our bits here. Let's see now what we want. I pulled out this. I wasn't sure how this would work, but I thought that's quite a cute little boat as well. If we wanted to use it, it is there. That's another thing. I try to pull things out that kind of go with each other. They work in the same theme. So what I was trying to say. All right. So let me get this. I put it somewhere. I showed you this dice before. Okay, so with these, I might get the smaller. I might have a smaller boat. I haven't used this one yet, I don't think. And the medium one, and maybe we'll add something we can. Oh, maybe just the medium one. Maybe we can add some couple of clouds on the side and keep it quite reasonably simple. This one's a good little die to dissect too. Now I will pop this tutorial in my newsletter this week, so you can get that. Oh, So alright, so we've got this. Alright, I'm thinking that way. So what I've done is we've got Poppy Parade, and I'm pulling out this, which is the designer series paper we have in all our colors, and I am going to cut that. We'll do some die cutting again. And I may place that at an angle that way. We'll do the clouds on white, and you could do it on a blue, which is fine, which would work. That'll be fine for my clouds. And for our clip, I'm going to take the big one here, and we'll cut that. Maybe I like to do two of them, so you get it looks more natural, and I get a front and a back. So for this, I am going to bring in, and I like doing this. So bringing in this one, which I haven't used yet, so why not? And let's swap this around. So we will stamp, perhaps, I might do that in Poppy Parade. So we're going to have a bulldog clip in Poppy Parade. So I'm not sure whether it'll cut the full thing, but we can cut the bottom and color the top in Poppy Parade. So we've got some die cutting to do, so let's get that done. And I need that on the straight. Get some washi to hold that together. Now you can shop for these products in my online store. I will have a link for you, and I will have a product list later on as well. So just bear with me while I get that together. And I currently have a class using the Floral Charm Suite. Now, that is, you can get involved in different ways for that class. You can either purchase the PDF tutorial or around the world. That's $20. And then you can get the kit Australia-wide starting at $45. There's different options. I just hop on to my store and check that out. There's an option where you can add the bundle, or you can add the suite, and both of them will save you some dollars. So go, it's worth a check. Now I'll do these. I don't know why I put my die cutting machine away. Right. All right. Okay, let's see. These sort of things like clouds can add as your kind of an embellishment, accessory, things like that. They're nice. And then it's something I can feel it. And for die cut seals. So you can kind of see it all coming together. And we've got the boat. So with the boat, I might thinking what color would be best. Maybe like a grey. And a deep grey. Just to keep it neutral, because when it's a color palette challenge, you've got to keep your anything extra colors neutral. So let's go with basic grey. I think that'll be a nice color. I love a bit of basic grey. If you're watching on YouTube, I appreciate you liking and subscribing to my channel. That is, and also those who share on Facebook. That's much appreciated. So thank you. Now, so this just kind of sticks like that. These are very easy to assemble. So super nice. Let's get our Poppy Parade. This is just like Poppy Parade, and I'm thinking I'll just color that around there, just so it has that full color. And I might get my dark just so it blends in a bit better. And I will get my second one and do the same. And if you're wondering why I'm doing this, it'll come together in a second when I kind of show you. I did it with one and it just didn't look right. It felt incomplete because you need the clip to go together. And this is going to give, I think it's better with the dark. And honestly, it doesn't, it's a bulldog clip. I'm just going to try and blend that color in there. All right. Another thing I might do is get the Poppy Parade here and bring in my blending brush just to add a bit of color to that base. A bit much for a bulldog clip, but all the little details matter. I feel so. I do a little bit extra. All right, let's stick this down. And okay. Add another one. I don't need to open a new glue. Let's put a bit of glue here. How cute is that little boat? Really lovely. So easy to get your masculine projects with these. Like, now I'm going to bring in a bit of Pool Party to blend this. Adding some color onto this, right? Just at the bottom of the cloud. I know I'm upside down, but sometimes it's easier to get to that like that. If you love masculine cards, I invite you to join the Stamping Lounge this Saturday for our monthly class. And we are going to be creating masculine projects. We are creating with different products. The Stamping Lounge is made up of Kayla, Macaulay, Mahesari, Rajaguru, and myself. So the class by itself is $24.95. It is free to our members who pay $24.95 a month. They get access to everything within the lounge. So definitely that's a perk of the membership. All right, I'm just going to put some dimensionals. So if you would like to know about our membership, I will pop the link up. It is worth joining for a month, even to try. You can cancel your subscription at any time, but you're going to get not just the class, you're going to get all the content that is in that lounge, which we put in new content all the time. So definitely worth coming and checking it out for yourself, see what it's like and what you can enjoy in that in there. So I'm going to put that there. I'd cut that in half. This card probably won't have as much detail as I might put normally, but I am going to finish it because I don't want this video to just end suddenly abruptly. I'm trying not to have that happen. So, but I think these particular products just go so well together, and they're loads and loads of fun. So I'm going to stick, maybe add a little sliver of a dimensional down there. Okay, now I'm going to add dimensionals here. So I'm not too low because it does have to come down. So, and then I know you normally have it this way, but I do want that design to show on both sides. So I'm going to just glue it, just have a little bit of glue just there, holding that together. Oops, not like that. Holding that together and aligning it there. It gives a finishing touch, which kind of makes it look just complete. I am going in with my pen, my blend here, just filling in any white bits here so you can't see there. I think it looks pretty good. All right, now I'm going to try and get some darling duckling, and In the same paper, this floral impressions, there's a piece there, so I am going to cut a piece, just using up here on what I've got. Let's see how much I need. Roughly. 12, 5. This is 12 by 5.5. I will layer it onto another piece of dark clean cardstock. Just maybe I'll see whether that works. So am I doing on white? I used to have I have all my colors separately, but this time with the in colors, I like my scrap cardstock. What I did was put all the in color for that particular year together because I thought, oh, that might work better for me. So I changed it up a bit this year. Where are you, darling duckling? There we are. Right, I think it just gives a bit of finish. 5.5, 5.9. And then we'll put a base and everything. We are getting there. Put that away. Isn't that paper pretty? I think I've used so much of that paper. I might have to get some more. I think it's the versatility of it for things like this. I'll cut that a tad crooked. Or maybe it was. There we go. That's better. Then we have something like this. I think it's good. To use my card base from this itself. And we've got a nice, bright and cheerful card. Then I'll cut a card mat. And with my mat, I'm going to emboss it. And let's try embossing it with the hybrid. I didn't think I'd use it, but here we are. I might use it. Sometimes you never know what you're going to use. You don't plan on it. Well, that's me. I don't plan on it, and then I change my mind. Or even I'm thinking, instead of the one with that, there's a soft waves one might work nicely. Actually, yeah, that one's better for this particular purpose. Soft waves. Perfect. So let's do this. And go with that. Oops. Oh, I one extra plate there. Not required. With your stamping card and emboss any die cutting machine, you will know if you've got the wrong sandwich. Go, that doesn't feel right. And if it's going too easily, or if it's resisting too much, something is impure. Not quite right. 10.14, 10 by 14.3. I think I didn't cut that down. Right. Okay. So we've got our pigment. I love Darling Duckling. Who loves Darling Duckling? Is that one of your faves? Centered art. Loving the pop of color. It's still got my whites, which I like. And then I'm going to add those in there. Do you love the combination? I do love the colors that are going well together. And let's see what sentiment we are going to put. I did have that little bit of scrappy bit, but who knows where that ended up. That could have gone for a walk. Okay, we might do something a bit more bold anyway. That's my theory. Right, so this one comes with several sentiments. Maybe because I've got my water clip there, I think he goes well there. It lends itself to sitting on an angle that way. I could put my sentiment in here. And best wishes. Best wishes is what it's going to do. Best wishes. All right. So maybe best wishes on white in poppy red, and then do you talk to yourself like this, the way I am doing? Oh, that's something else I have. Can I use that? Yeah, it will work. I am looking for my piercing mat. Ensures a good image when you stamp with photopolymer images. It's a bit more crisp. It helps. Nice. I like it. I find with these sort of colors, they tend to take a bit longer to sort of dry. The poppy parades and your reds in general. Have you noticed that when you work with red, you're guaranteed to make a mess of some sort? Something will generally happen. It ends up all over your hands. I don't know. It happens to me. And it'll end up on a project or something. I mean, the lighter colors behave. See, I can see it there. Avoid holding it. It's still a little bit wetty wet. All right. Okay, so I'm going to glue this on here. So I've got more cards coming this evening with this. You're going to have to check out my blog for all the fun on that one, because I can't say anything more. It's a surprise. I cannot give away the surprise. It's a bit of fun. We're having a bit of fun. bit wide. I will trim that down a little more. Now, if things like this happen, I sometimes bring in my crafter tips, and the scalpel is amazing. I do that. Now, if this video does cut off, I'm going to say thank you for coming, because I am hoping that this continues, but I will, if it doesn't end up where I show you the card complete, I will always have that up on my social so you can see the completed card, because this is pretty much done, and we will add this like that. I will add my dimensionals, and I'd love to know what you think. Is this on your wish list, any of these products? Perhaps just a note what you had noticed. It is in our online exclusive store, and if you're a stationery buff, I highly recommend it. You're gonna fall in love with it. Teachers cards, every teacher loves some stationery. Definitely with an investment for those special people. I might pull that down a bit. I'm hoping it fits in an envelope, that's all. Yeah, that'll be fine. And then the clouds and our sentiment. So I'm going to finish up now. I don't want to abruptly end. Thank you so much for hopping on. I appreciate your time. Let me know what you think. Please check back for the finalized card and all the supply list. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.